Ladies and gentlemen, the focus is well and truly on midfield, and I think there's potentially going to be some outgoings, and we need to definitely talk about this. All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, the focus is well and truly in regards to midfield. Chelsea, I like the way how all of a sudden things are starting to look pretty all right in terms of transfer business. Yes, it's taken a bit of time, but these sort of things can take a bit of time, of course. But I like the way how, we've gone aggressively for Mudryk, and we've got that. I said it, we need at least minimum 3 players in this January window. We've actually got them, but probably one of them is what I was hoping for mostly. Out of the 3, I think we've got, well, no, maybe we've got 4, haven't we? We've got Mudryk, we've got David Datra Fofana, we've got Buddy Shield, we've got Andre Santos. Now, Mudryk is the one that I definitely did. Well, not specifically Mudryk, but an attacker is something that I specifically wanted. I just forgot. We even got João Felix on loan as well. So we've done a lot of business in this January. But attacker is someone that I badly wanted in this particular window. I was looking forward to a right back, and I definitely want a midfielder. Now the conversation is very much solely towards a midfielder, which is what I like to see. Obviously, we've got the game against Liverpool coming up, and I believe after that, there's a couple of weeks off due to international break. I didn't even know there was meant to be an international break. I mean, we just played the World Cup. It's quite strange that so quickly that we've got international break again. I'm pretty certain it's international break. Have a look at the fixtures because Chelsea are apparently playing after the Liverpool game in a couple of weeks' time. And I think that's the case with everyone else. I'm pretty certain it's international break. And if we can manage to get something out of that Liverpool game, which I've got this slight feeling that we probably can. I have this feeling for some reason that we potentially could get a victory over there. At worst, I wouldn't be unhappy with a draw, to be honest, just to sort of settle the rocking boat that we had. And then, as I said, a couple of weeks, and if we can, by the end of that, the January transfer window will be over. If we can get a midfielder and a right back, I think Graham Potter should be set to aggressively tackle the remaining parts of this Premier League season and really try and attempt to put a case for top 4. We'll see what happens. All right, ladies and gentlemen, first up, before the midfield situation, let's talk about Noni Madueke. There's a lot that's happening in regards to him. Chelsea have also been engaged in discussions with PSV Eindhoven over a move for talented winger Noni Madueke. Although Football London understands no agreement is close to being reached for the former Tottenham Hotspurs youngster. This is coming from Adam Newson. Let's just go through the news on Madueke, and then we'll give my opinion on it. Chelsea had a first bid of 30 million rejected. So apparently we've already put a bid, and this is coming from Fabrizio Romano. So this is legit. We're going for this player. For Madueke, still in talks with his agents. Priority now midfield. So just remember, priority now is midfield. Now, in regards to Noni Madueke, do we need another attacker on top of João Felix and Mudryk? Look, the way I look at it, if Graham Potter wants this particular player in, and he wants to refurbish that attacking lineup, let's do it. He wants to get rid of Pulisic, he wants to get rid of Ziyech, he wants to get rid of, down the track, Havertz, and whoever else. I'm all for it. I am backing the manager. I'd rather have the manager get their players so that I can properly judge the manager on their merits. So from that perspective, I'm fine. 30 million bid put in. I think Christopher Vivell is the person who's pushing this move as well. He's recently been, hired as a technical director, along with Paul Winstanley. They're running the transfer business at the moment. There's some words that Vivell actually was trying to get Noni Madueke to come to Red Bull Leipzig as a replacement for Nkunku. So they definitely rate this player. And from the little bits and pieces of clips that I've seen, I'm not going to act like I'm some sort of expert on Noni Madueke. I think his English background as well, so that helps out in regards to, I suppose, having that home quota. Let me know if that counts. Does home quota have to be someone who is coming from your academy or just the nationality? Just let me know, ladies and gentlemen. So in regards to Noni Madueke, a lot of people are saying he's the next Gareth Bale. I mean, some of the clips that I've seen from the right side, and drifting in with his left foot. He looks like a very good player, but he's got a very, very bad injury record. He's a young player. Who knows? Maybe he'll get over the injuries right now. But then again, our medical staff room ain't looking that great either. So, yeah, I mean, if we can get him for about 35 million euros, 40 million euros is what has been talked about. I don't know, maybe potentially could turn out to be a bit of a gem purchase down the track. So that's a little bit about Noni Madueke. Let me know, ladies and gentlemen. I've not really heard from any of you guys in the comments in regards to Noni Madueke. Like, how do you feel about this? With Mudryk, with João Felix, with Sterling coming, there's some rumors about apparently Sterling might be let go of in the summer. I find that quite strange. I think Graham Potter probably appreciates Sterling. Sterling is an England international. I'm not giving up on Sterling, man. This is mad. This is Raheem Sterling, who's been a superstar for Man City for so long. Yes, he's not, in recent times not worked out for Chelsea Football Club. But don't forget, earlier parts of the season, Raheem Sterling was very good. I would find it very strange if Raheem Sterling was to let go of after signing a 5-year contract. I think the new owners like him as well. So I don't know. Let me know about the Noni Madueke situation in the comment section below. Are you in for it? Are you actually looking forward to this? Now, let's talk about the midfield scenario. We've been touching base on this particular player for the past couple of videos, and looks like it's really heating up. I'm not going to be surprised, ladies and gentlemen, if our board have already started some conversation with Brighton maybe a week ago, maybe a couple of weeks ago. I know this news slowly trickles in. Some of the stuff that we see now could be outdated. And we know the relationship we have with Brighton. Brighton are like our cousin, man. They're like our cousin brother. Do you know what I mean? Come here, man. Come here. Let's talk. And we've taken Graham Potter from them. Obviously, we've sent Levi Colwill to them. We've taken Cucurella from them. Why not? Why not start this beautiful, wonderful relationship and take it to the next level? This is the latest. The priority for Chelsea is a midfielder. The one they appreciate is Moisés Caicedo. But there are many on the list. They are speaking with many players in general. It's how they work. Fabrizio Romano, in regards to this, let's see if there's anything else on Caicedo. No, for the time being, that's the one. Look, fantastic player. Defensively, rock solid. Offensively, has got that passing ability, can find those, key passes here and there, but predominantly he's in the center of midfield, making sure he's breaking things up, much like N'Golo Kante. But I think his ball-playing ability is a tad better. No disrespect to Kante. Kante is very good as well, but we know Kante, when he drives into that final third, can really hesitate to make the right decisions, whereas I think Caicedo is a little bit more equipped in that regards, has the ability to track back, recover. Perfect midfielder, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm not saying he's the only one there. There are other options available, but this is the one that Chelsea is going for. I'm okay with it. I know the price is quite hefty, but that's because the hype on Caicedo has increased gargantuanly over the last 12 months. So look, Graham Potter knows everything about this player. Once again, this is the one that Graham Potter wants, and Todd Bowley, I think once again will strike some sort of a payment structure deal with Brighton and continue that good relationship with them. Who knows? Maybe we can offload some of our academy players or even the players that are on the fringe on loan to Brighton to help them out. Look at the stuff that Levi Colwill is doing. He's a permanent fixture now for Brighton Football Club, and Roberto De Zerbi loves him. So look, from a Brighton perspective, as I said, they're going for it. They're looking to reach top 6 this season, and for them to let go of a crucial player like him, at first I was thinking, no way Brighton's going to do that. But knowing Brighton and how they operate and how their scouting operates, they probably already have a backup lined up for this particular player. So I'm down for it. If we can get this done before the transfer window closes, I think we're in serious contention to do well for the remaining parts of this Premier League season. And hopefully we can put on some wins and drive as close as possible to that top 4 position. Next up, there's a lot of interest around Gallagher and Ziyech. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about players that potentially could move out. There's heaps of talk that's going on, as Fabrizio Romano is saying, in regards to Gallagher. In my opinion, if we can get a decent amount of offer, let's get rid of him. Let's be honest. I don't think we're going to use Gallagher on a regular basis, at most off the bench. And the way we're moving to upgrade the quality in midfield, Caicedo, there's still talks about Enzo Fernandez for summer, um, and potentially more midfielders in the summer. Kante potentially getting a contract extension. Look, I don't know whether Gallagher has a position anymore. If anything, he'll be off the bench. It's up to Gallagher. He wants to be a bench player, super sub player, but he has to improve his quality, in my opinion. Look, as I said, if I get a good offer, I will let Gallagher go. Similarly with Ziyech as well, with all the wingers we've brought in. As much as I would like to keep Ziyech in, because I feel like he gives something different, a different type of X factor. There's always something happening when Ziyech has got the ball. But once again, Ziyech, if he wants to stick around at Chelsea Football Club and be a bit part player, no problems. But I just get the feeling I think Ziyech wants regular minutes, which I don't think he'll get at Chelsea Football Club. Much to my disregard. But at the end of the day, let Graham Potter do what is best for the football club, what is best for Chelsea Football Club. That comes number one for me. As much as I love Ziyech, number one is Chelsea Football Club. According to La Repubblica, Chelsea have made a fresh approach for Denzel Dumfries. Inter Milan are asking between 48.3 million and 52.7 million, but Chelsea are only prepared to pay 30.7 million. I'm all down for this price. I think this price is probably a bit too much for Denzel Dumfries when you consider there are other options recently from Southampton, Kyle Walker-Peters. There's been other names that's been touted around as well, Pedro Porro, and many more, many more. Apparently, there's been a 18-year-old sensation from Spain in Valladolid, Azpilicueta region, they're calling him. I've got no idea about who he is. So there is some value out there. We don't necessarily have to bend over backwards for this level of money for Dumfries, but I think Dumfries is a very good player. I personally think he's a very good player. From recent times when I've seen him, initially, probably a couple of years ago, when we were rumored with Hakimi and whatnot, I was preferring Hakimi more than Denzel Dumfries. But now, in recent times, when I've seen him in the World Cup prior to that in Inter Milan, I know there's some deficiencies. There's no doubt. Every player has deficiencies. He has deficiencies. I don't think his ball playing ability or his ball control is always crisp, but the physicality, the recovery pace, the robust nature, he's perfectly set up to be a right wing back. His deliveries from that right side, his ability to hone in into the box, much like Reece James. I like it. And the reason I also like it a lot is that physical nature. I feel like he'll fit in the Premier League very easily. But as I said, there are other options out there, but I definitely need a right back in this January transfer window. I think it's very, very prudent. I know Reece James will probably be back sometime very soon, but you never know with Reece James. He's potentially just another knock away from being out for 4 weeks, and then boom, you've got Azpilicueta to contend with for those 4 weeks. And I'm not really sure if I'm ready for that again. No disrespect once again for Azpilicueta. Every now and then he does well, but we just don't get that impetus. This Azpi is now old, man. It's not the prime Azpi, so it's time to move on. And I really don't want him to, ruin his legacy. Now, in regards to Zakarian, I'm a little bit annoyed with this. I definitely want this player. Now, look, maybe it's okay. We don't get him in January, but I hope we don't lose out on this player, man. Really hope we don't lose out on this player. Hopefully, in summer we go back for him. His vision, his creativity is exactly what Chelsea Football Club needs. We don't have a player like him, out and out creative player. As I said, I don't expect him, if he does sign for Chelsea down the track, to come and be part of the first team. But eventually, I believe he will take over in the first team. He's sensational. He really is sensational. Just check out some of his matches. Check out some of his clips. He is truly that guy. I'm telling you right now. In terms of creativity, he's that guy. I understand Chelsea won't move on Arsene Zakarian during the transfer window. Chelsea are watching him. Something could happen down the line, but he's not the priority he was in the summer before Russia sanctions put the deal on hold. This is coming from Robert O'Connor. Look, yes, there's political complications with Zakarian being Russian background, but there was some talks that perhaps he's going to get an Armenian citizenship, and then we're going to try and do that transfer. We're going to transfer the money to Armenia as well, to an Armenian bank, and then it can go to this particular club. I believe, who does he play for? Dynamo something? I'm not really sure, but Zakarian plays for a Russian team. Let me just check that out. Zakarian. What club does he play for? Dynamo Moscow. Dynamo Moscow. There you go. But ladies and gentlemen, I need this player. I definitely need this player. That creativity is very important. Last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea is struggling to offload unwanted players from its bloated squad. Gallagher wants to stay unless forced out. We've already talked a little bit about Gallagher, and Jorginho is likely to go. I think it's time. I think it's time he leaves. I thank him for everything that he's given, but the flaws are now too much to cover game in, game out. I appreciate his strengths, but there are some distinct flaws that's too much to cover. Contract talks for Mason Mount and Edouard Mendy are put on hold after January. But once again, ladies and gentlemen, have a look. Nizak and Salah, just take it with a pinch of salt, honestly. If this is true, that the contract talks once again have been put on hold after January, because there was apparently meant to be contract talks after the World Cup during January, and now apparently it's put on hold after January. So the goalpost on this particular matter for Mason Mount and Edouard Mendy keeps changing. Look, in regards to Edouard Mendy, I think his time is up. I really think his time is up. Now, not saying that Kepa is the answer, but Kepa is doing much better. Obviously, he had some iffy games here and there, but overall, Kepa this season's been good. But then again, for a lot of people, Kepa is not even the answer. If Kepa is not the answer, and Edouard Mendy is definitely not in the frame, I know he's injured at the moment. Apparently, Gabriel Slolina could start seeing some opportunities next season. Edouard Mendy, he's holding out to get paid same level as Kepa Arrizabalaga, which I completely understand, because he's won a lot of awards. He's won the Champions League. I mean, he's got a lot of credibility behind him. He's the African champion as well. I can understand, but Graham Potter wants a particular goalkeeper that is good on his feet, not just good as a shot stopper. And this season, Edouard Mendy has not been good as a shot stopper. In fact, since the African Cup of Nations, he's not been good as a goalkeeper. Even in the World Cup, he was a shambles for Senegal. I think Edouard Mendy is probably going to move on in the summer, and that will be that. Kepa maybe might stick around for a little longer until we find a proper replacement. In regards to Mason Mount, ladies and gentlemen, it's interesting times. It is interesting times. What's going on? How come this contract has not been signed as yet? What is the hold-up? Look, watch this space. I don't want to spend too much time talking about Mason, because obviously we talk a lot about Mason Mount on this particular channel, because it's always a hot topic. But let's just see what's going on in regards to Mason Mount. Recently the owners said they want to have a level field of base salaries, and they don't want to influx the base salary too much. They really want to focus on bonuses. So is that something that's holding up Mason Mount? Some will tell you, no, it's not the money, Miz, it's the terms. Come on, if it's the terms, then I'm sure we can get a resolution quickly. If Mason's been offered, let's say, 6 years or 7 years, and he only wants 5, really? The terms is what we can't accept over so many months? It don't make sense to me. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button if you have. If you're here for the first time, subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content. I shall see you guys for a live early tomorrow UK time around 9:30 a.m. Till then, take care. See ya.